No palace is born innocent. Before the first stone is laid, before banners rise and drums echo, land already carries memory, and some memories resist being buried. In the final years of the Li dynasty, the empire appeared stable. Borders were quiet, trade flowed, taxes were paid. On the surface, peace had been achieved, but inside the court, peace was an illusion. Emperor Li Huang, the seventh ruler of his line, inherited not only a throne, but a silence carefully constructed by generations before him. A silence built on executions without records, on rival princes erased from scrolls, on scholars who asked the wrong questions. It was this silence that inspired the construction of a new palace. Officially, it was named the Palace of Eternal Clarity. Among the people, it was called something else, the Whispering Palace. The idea came from the emperor himself. Li Huang was young, only 29 when he ascended the throne, but unlike many rulers before him, he distrusted luxury. He believed excess weakened judgment. He believed corruption thrived in shadows. His solution was radical. He ordered a palace built not for celebration, but for discipline. A palace with straight corridors, balanced courtyards, rooms designed for clarity of mind. Court astrologers warned him. "The land you have chosen is heavy," they said. "It remembers blood." Li Huang dismissed them. "Stone remembers nothing," he replied. "Only men do." Construction began within the year. Official chronicles described the palace as a marvel of symmetry and restraint. What they do not record is what stood there before. Decades earlier, during the War of Succession, the same land had served as a royal detention ground. Princes accused of treason were held there. Ministers who opposed the throne disappeared within its walls. Executions were carried out at night. No graves, no markers, no names. Bodies were buried beneath the foundations of temporary structures, wooden halls, that were later burned and removed. When the new palace rose, its stone pillars were placed directly above these burial pits. The dead were not moved. They were sealed in. In the spring of the year of the White Crane, Emperor Li Huang relocated to the new palace. In an ancient Asian dynasty, there stood a palace at the heart of the capital. It was grand, symmetrical, and silent. So silent that even the guards whispered when they passed its halls. The people called it the Whispering Palace, not because it was haunted, but because it remembered. Emperor Li Huang was young, disciplined, and healthy. He avoided excess, despised cruelty, and believed logic ruled the world. When the new palace was completed, he moved in during the spring. Within 3 months, everything changed. At night, the emperor began waking suddenly, not from dreams, but from voices. At first, he blamed fatigue, then insomnia, then stress. But the voices knew his name. On the final night, palace guards found Emperor Li Huang dead in his chamber. No wounds, no poison, no signs of struggle. The official record declared sudden natural death. There was only one man who dared write more. Court historian Zhao Ming secretly recorded, "On the night before the emperor's death, I heard His Majesty speaking to someone inside the chamber. When I entered, there was no one." The next morning, Zhao Ming vanished. His documents were destroyed, except for one torn page with a single sentence. "This palace remembers the past." Before the palace existed, the land served another purpose. It was a prison, a place where rival princes, betrayed ministers, and accused scholars were executed in silence. Hundreds died there, unmarked, unremembered. Ancient scholars believed that places soaked in suffering do not forget. They absorb voices, fear, and final thoughts. The palace was not whispering. It was speaking. After the emperor's death, the palace remained occupied. Within 6 months, 5 more people died: a senior guard, a royal physician, a concubine, and 2 palace servants. All showed the same symptoms: severe insomnia, hearing voices at night, speaking to unseen figures, and sudden death without physical cause. No poison was found, no disease identified. The palace grew quieter. The new regime acted swiftly. The palace was sealed, its name removed from records. Maps were altered. Official history declared the site abandoned due to structural instability. But villagers nearby told a different story. On windless nights, they still heard whispers, not loud, not angry, just persistent, as if someone was asking to be remembered. History is not always written by victors. Sometimes it is written by walls, by blood beneath stone, by voices no one dares to answer. The Whispering Palace still stands, silent, watching, and waiting.